everybody, welcome back. And today I have another review for you, and this is another skincare review. If you did not see it, or if you're interested or whatever, I'm still going to tell you. I did review the UFO Sunday Riley facial oil. If it is already up, I will link it at the end of the video and below. And if this is going up first, well then look out for that one. I'm not really sure which order I'm doing these in, but there you go. Today's, though, is on the, forgive me if I butcher it, the TLC Sukari Babyfacial from Drunk Elephant. This is one of those like cult fave products that I feel like everybody raves about. And I personally bought mine because Claudia from Ebates, Norvina, was raving about how much she loved this on Snapchat, and pretty much like impulse bought it during I pretty much impulse bought it during the VIB sale. So I didn't have to pay full price for this. I did get 20% off, but full price is $80 for 1.69 fluid ounces. So almost 2 ounces, almost, but not quite. This is what the packaging looks like. It comes in like a pump. Gets a little crusty sometimes, but I love the packaging. It looks really pretty. It looks nice. It's very substantial. But first, let's go ahead and just get into the claims before I start talking about the actual, thing of it. This is supposed to resurface and reveal. And what does it say here? It is an in-home facial mask that effectively yet gently exfoliates the pore lining and gets rid of built-up dead skin cells. It has 25% AHA, 2% BHA in it, and a blend of glycolic, tartaric, lactic, citrus, and salicylic acids in it, so crap ton of acids. It says it's a pro-quality formula, and it smooths texture while minimizing the look of fine lines and wrinkles. Yada, 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 yada. It delivers brightening and enzymatic action, improves skin elastic feel, and reveals a more even-toned, radiant, baby soft complexion. Think of it as an extra nudge for stubborn dull skin. In other words, it'll knock your cells off. So it says suggested uses once per week. Apply an even layer to clean, dry skin and leave on for 20 minutes. Rinse thoroughly, pat dry, and then follow immediately with the Drunk Elephant Marula oil for best results. Do not use with retinoid products. So there you go. I did use mine once per week every Sunday. Night is when I would use it. I will tell you this, whenever you apply it, I would not use your hands, because it seems like whenever I would use my hands, I would have to use significantly more product because it was like kind of caking up on my hands, and it's a little bit hard to move around because it will cling to your hands and not to your face. I did end up using, after the first 2 times, I used one of those mask brushes. Mine is the Moda Spa, The Moda Spa Tools one that came in like a set of like an exfoliating brush and, a mask applicator thing. I did try to use like an e.l.f. foundation brush that I also used for masks that has like natural type bristles. That soaked up a lot more. So the Moda one is kind of like synthetic, almost like really soft, but still like plastic bristles. So I would suggest that because it soaked up the least amount of product. Now the product soakage is an issue because this stuff, I feel like I've used this for 9 weeks now. Tonight will be my 10th week. Because I forgot to do it last night. This is a Monday whenever I'm filming this, not that you need to know, but anyway, tonight will be my 10th week. But I feel like this is getting very light, and I keep wondering, when is it going to run out? Because there's absolutely no way of telling. It doesn't go up from the bottom. Like, there's just no way that you know when it's empty until it's empty. And the component up here is significantly heavier This is a heavier plastic than this one down here. And of course, your product is in here and it's being pushed up every time you pump. And this already feels like the top is getting very heavy and the bottom is very light. So I feel like it's going to run out soon, but I can't tell you as of right now how long this actual package lasted for. With that being said, let's talk about the actual product. About a month and a half before I bought this product, my husband and I actually went to the dermatologist and each got a chemical peel. It was a little 5-minute in-office chemical peel. Now, that burned, you know, kind of substantially. It was not completely pleasant, but it wasn't unbearable. And then afterward, our skin was extremely dry on the surface. We both have oily skin, but it was very dry on the surface and it peeled. My husband's peeled quite a bit and I peeled mostly around my nose, around my mouth, the edges, you know, of my mouth here, and a little bit on the tops of my cheekbones. Everywhere else I was pretty much okay. But we did peel pretty substantially with that. Now, whenever I first put this on, it felt exactly the way that the in-office chemical peel felt. It burned the same way. It actually almost feels like someone is trying to scrape your skin off with a rusty butter knife. So it's not the most fun feeling, but I thought, okay, this is working. This might actually be the equivalent of an in-office peel. So I was pretty excited about it. And I did wait like 20 minutes until I got actually into the shower, and then I like soaped up my hair and stuff and then washed it off. So it ended up being about 25 minutes, and I would not recommend waiting longer than 20 minutes to wash it off because I did get a little bit of like a minor burn from it on the tops of my cheekbones right here on both sides. It was very, very red and irritated, and it kind of hurt every time that I washed my face after that. So don't leave this on for more than 20 minutes. It's not a good idea. But other than that, as soon as I, you know, like got out, washed my face off, and I kind of like felt my skin, it did feel very soft. But with that being said, it felt no softer than if I had just used, you know, your typical like cleansing exfoliator in the shower. So the first time around, it was okay. It didn't like wow me though. So I continued using it to see if I would see the long-term results. So the first couple of times this burned pretty bad, and then after that it completely stopped burning, and it just felt like putting on a regular face mask. It didn't, you know, sting or tingle or anything like that. So I don't know if it was like losing its potency or if my skin was just acclimated to the feel of it, but it stopped burning. Because this does like kind of purge out all of your pores and get away the dead skin cells and stuff, I broke out from this, but not in the way that you would normally break out from a product. I had right here a ton of subsurface bumps, like very tiny, and they'd been there for like over a year. And they were just very stubborn, never coming to the surface. And they weren't even really blemishes. They were just kind of like clogged pores that were just not purging themselves. And even whenever I asked the dermatologist about it, he said basically, the only thing I can do is like take a needle and then like lance it and, you know, purge everything out of there by hand. This actually did it for me though. So I did break out quite substantially right here for the first 4 weeks that I used this product. I would just break out like, you know, 2 or 3 every single week. They would heal fairly quickly within a couple days, but be aware that if you do have anything underneath the surface that has just been kind of lingering around, it's going to come up and your skin is not going to look great, but it is getting rid of things. So I did like that. Even right now, I only feel a couple of them that are still left. But after the 4-week mark, it kind of stopped, you know, doing that, I think it did as much as it could, and then now it just can't really get to the rest of it. Perhaps if I were to take several weeks off from using it and then go back in with it again, it might be able to break those up and purge them out, but in the foreseeable future, I don't really see stopping using it until it's just over. But that's something to keep in mind. Now, I did have a lot of texture on the tops of my cheeks, just in general. In the past year, I've been getting more and more texture there. And the in-office chemical peel that we did with the dermatologist corrected a lot of it, just with the one treatment. They did say that we would have to come in, you know, for maybe 3 to 5 more times to really see drastic, like long-lasting results. And we just haven't went back in since I was trying this. But this hasn't really done anything for the texture on the top of my cheeks, though. In terms of like making your skin smoother, long-lasting, I don't feel like it does that. It does it pretty much as soon as you get out of the shower, done washing your face feels smoother. But whenever I wake up in the morning, I'm not thinking like, oh, my face feels baby soft. So in that regard, I feel like it didn't really perform up to, you know, the claims. I do love that this purged my pores. It did get rid of a lot of the stuff over here. I have some very, very fine lines on my forehead. I don't feel like those have decreased at all. I have a little bit of crow's feet coming in. Jesus. But that is still there also. I do not put this product right here, but I did go ahead and put it where my crow's feet are because that's exactly what they did at the dermatologist's office. So I just kind of followed exactly where they put it. I feel like the under eye is a little bit too delicate, but pretty much from here and then all the way up close to my eye here is where I would put this product. Now, I will also say, as much as I like the look of the packaging is a complete fail for me. Number one, because you can't tell when it's going to be used up and when it's not. But also, I don't want to waste product right now, but whenever you push this down to dispense the product, you have to push it sometimes 20 to 30 times to get enough to cover your whole face, because it's not coming out in one continuous blob every time you pump. Sometimes you pump and nothing comes out. Sometimes you pump and you get like a little tiny, you know, little dot of product. Sometimes you pump and, you know, a full pump's worth comes out. It's like all over the map, you know, and sometimes you pump like 5-6 times and nothing comes out. So I don't love that this product seems to be, let me just make an assumption. This is what I'm going to say. This is an airless type of pump situation. You know, it's not aerosol or anything. So what I'm feeling from this is that whenever I'm pumping, it should just have a chamber of just the product in it, but I feel like there's a lot of air in the product, and I don't know why, but that air is then creating pockets, and that's what's making it not come out in a continuous pump whenever you're pumping it. So I'm like, number one, why is there air in the product? And number two, I'm storing it just, you know, it sits on my, you know, bathroom vanity, and I'm not turning it upside down and leaving it like that or leaving it on its side. So everything should be like settled, and it just seems to not be. So I don't love that. And I feel like they could drastically improve the packaging for that. So now that I've kind of told you the pros and cons of it, I will say that I will not be repurchasing this product, at least not for the foreseeable future. I will continue to finish it up, but once it's done, I'm not going to buy another one. And it's not only the cost, it's on par with the UFO oil. Well, you'll have to watch the review, but it's on par with the cost of that. And honestly, it's on par with the cost of a lot of the other high-end chemical peels like Philosophy and Exuviance and Dr. Dennis Gross and all of those. It's on par with the cost of those. So the cost is not the issue, but I feel like I'm not getting all of the results that it's claiming that it will give you. So for that reason, I don't recommend it for me and my skin and the way I feel about it. If you love it, that is great. But if you are in the market for it or you're thinking about it, really look into it, because this is an expensive product. And if it's not going to live up to what you want it to do, it may not be worth your money. If you do have several skin issues that you want to tackle, you really want something that's going to perform and deliver the results that it says it will. If you have pretty much perfect skin to begin with, well, you know, you may not even need this product. So if you just want to, you know, spend some money on it, then I guess. But for me, it's kind of a no-go. Like, I feel like it could have been so much better. And it's just not, you know. They also do give you a Marula oil in a 0.1 fluid ounce, and they say to use this directly after you wash the baby facial off of your face. I hated this oil. It says that it is non-greasy, that, you know, it hydrates, yada, yada, yada. I hated this. It did not sink into my skin. It literally sat on top of my skin and made me look and feel greasy for the length of time that I would have it on. And I would typically do this like Sunday afternoons or so. And then by the time I'm ready to go to bed, I just wanted to wash it off again and put on my other face oil, because this just, I didn't like this. I would not recommend it, at least for me and my skin type. Maybe drier skins would really love this, but for me, already having a great amount of oil production, this just, it didn't sink in. I would not continue to use this at all. But I did just use the few drops and it's lasted. So it does last a while, even though it's a very tiny package. Now, I do have currently in my drawer upstairs an Exuviance peel that I think you do twice a week or once a week or something like that. It's like the AP 77 something peel. I'm going to be trying that one out, and I will see after I've finished up this one. I'll see if that one is any better because it's around the same price. So we'll see. I tried an Exuviance peel that was a daily one last year, and then they stopped carrying it, so I stopped trying it. But I really loved the results that I got with that one. So I'm excited to try the Exuviance one that I have now and see if it's any better. But I will update you on that one as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the review. I hope that you got some good information, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye!